Hello, YouTube. Greetings. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to this podcast. We've done 101 episodes, and I'm still not quite sure that we're not on the radio right now.
Oh no.
I'm looking down like, are we on the air? I don't think so.
Oh no.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Kramer and Jess Uncensored 101, baby, and the final one for 2022. So dang it, it better be good. If you are new to our Uncensored podcast, you get one warning. And that is what, Jess?
It's like the close friends feature on Instagram. This is genuinely meant for our close friends, and we will be uncensored. Please do not play this in the back. Even if your kids, somewhere near you, they will pick up on the words. We've been told this has happened before. We are instigating 2-year-olds cussing, not by something we want to do, but it is uncensored. So that's your warning.
Have you seen that thing on TikTok right now where parents are like, all right, you get to choose one cuss word.
Oh, that's not.
And you won't get in trouble. So say whatever you want. And then some kids, go with like poop.
Yeah.
And then some kids like
Go
4
hard.
years old being like, fuck. Like, wow.
Yeah, they know what's going on.
I don't think I knew that word back in the day. I don't think it was that serious, but I guess it was a thing. We got a lot to cover. I don't know the order I want to do this in today. Because you guys had such a strong reaction, I kind of want to talk about what just happened in pop culture for a second with Ellen's DJ. Do you guys want to talk about that for a second? Because I feel like this just happened and everyone's kind of got like a feeling about it. So I thought we could talk about it for a second. I know we did not prep this at all right now, Jess, but are you able to give me the news off the top of your head?
Yeah, Twitch. He was on So You Think You Can Dance. I know a lot of people are familiar with him for being Ellen's DJ. He was on the Stomp the Yard, and he's 40 years old. At 40 years old, he committed suicide. And what happened was, if you don't know, he's actually married to another dancer, and they met on So You Think You Can Dance. His wife's name is Allison, and they have kids together.
Wow, you know a lot about this guy. You're a fan.
Oh, I'm a fan. I'm really sad. And he's just, and what sucks is like he's always just been like a joyous person, always happy, always positive. Like they're obviously on the outside, it looks like they have this beautiful family. Twitch and Allison are always doing couple dances. They're always like hanging out at the house, dancing around their kids, and they've done multiple shows, and they've just done. And he had and has had such a successful career, from starting off as just like a hip hop dancer to learning other styles to becoming just like an all around MC and entertainer. And I guess what happened was she went back to the house, and he wasn't there, but his car was there, and that was like a very out of the norm for him. So she went to the police station, and they basically found him in a hotel room in LA, and he took his own life there.
Yeah. Hassan, thoughts?
It's sad. Because it's like, yeah, like we don't know the outside looking in, but I was like, if it's to that point, that means this has to be obvious signs, in my opinion. And the fact that he probably didn't have someone to talk to about those feelings, about those warning signs, is shocking, because you think he would.
I think that it's none of this is it. None of this is it. None of this is it, man. Like, this is just one of those classic examples to me. It's terribly tragic. And I think when a man commits suicide, it hits me personally a little bit harder because I know the amount of struggle that men go through with mental health without talking. Women too. But I've had so many, as a man, obviously, and I've had a lot of men open up to me about having really no place to go to really discuss this. And I think what happens is, people create these personas, and I'm not saying you got to be somebody. I'm not saying you got to be Ellen's DJ or you got to be a beauty queen or anybody. I'm just saying we create these masks that we're okay. And the people that wear the happiest mask, I think, are the scaredest to walk away from that persona because it's what they're known for.
I think when I read the story that she went to the police station, it made me feel like that she was aware of that. They obviously that he was struggling with things, and maybe obviously they were handling it as husband and wife. But for her to like automatically go to the police station when she couldn't find him made me feel like maybe that there was something going on. Obviously that they just weren't sharing with us yet. Right. And I think that I've always like looked up to them a little bit, not even a little bit. Like I've just always loved seeing them together as husband and wife and with their family and their kids and everything. And I think that's why it makes me really sad that he didn't feel like that he didn't feel comfortable with sharing that side of him, that he probably felt like he had this responsibility
to be happy,
and also like a lot of people go to him. He's like a mentor for a lot of people. So it makes me sad that he felt like he had to carry that burden around.
It's heavy. It's heavy. So how do you feel now? You said you looked up to them as like this happy couple and everything must be perfect in their lives. Like, how does that make you feel in general?
Oh, I think it's just a huge, massive, and every time something like this happens, just to check on your friends and check on your loved ones.
Yeah.
And I think and I don't think anyone should feel guilty by not doing that all the time, because everyone has their own lives. But I feel like, it doesn't hurt just to check in on the people that you're close to. You guys don't have to talk every day. And of course, not everyone is going to share everything with you. It's like, it's hard because I can understand that maybe they didn't want to share everything because they wanted to keep some things personal.
Yeah.
But I hated that he probably felt trapped by that character that he felt forced to play,
I think that we get a very teeny glimpse of that, right? Just a teeny glimpse. And I remember like when I was like in my hardest days, y'all, like when I was suicidal, and like it'd be bizarre because I'd go from like this suicidal thoughts to then having to walk into a radio studio and act like none of that was happening. And it almost fucks with you worse, because to put forth that extra amount of effort when you've got nothing to give, I can only imagine on his case. I mean, I was just a tiny little radio guy, but like when you've built your whole persona, I was never built on like, I'm the happiness guy, but he was
just always smiling, smiling.
It's just something, I don't know. When these things happen, man, who was the beauty queen that jumped not too long ago and committed suicide?
The lawyer lady. Yeah. I can't remember her name.
Wasn't she Miss Universe or something?
She was somebody. Yeah.
She was
somebody, but like
she
somebody
was a contestant for Miss America, and she was a lawyer, and she killed herself.
Looked like they had it all together, man. Right. I wish that we could get rid, and I think social media does it to all of us. And that's the point I want to bring up today is like, now we all have a platform, right? This has gone beyond. This is only people that have to like show. We all now portray ourselves a certain way,
but not even on social media. I think people feel that way in real life, like person to person. You could have had the worst thing ever, or a fight with somebody, or you're going through something at home, and then you have to go to work and act like everything's okay.
We don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes, you may not be able to talk about what's going on in your life at work, but make sure you find space to where you can release that somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's our little notice to you is like, man, please don't get to that place. It doesn't just happen to celebrities. It happens to people all the time. So let's just not get there. If you need to reach out to somebody, there's a ton of options, and I promise you it gets better. As somebody, it's crazy for me to think about that a couple of years ago. Like I was literally thinking of ways to like kill myself. It wasn't like I want to die. I was literally Googling like, how can I do this and make this the least way possible, to now being here and it being like, my life's so much different now. A way better version of myself than I was before. So, all right. Just a little, I know it's on everybody's brain before we got started with this, so I just wanted to say that. Hello to everyone on YouTube. It's so good to see you, and a much positive thing. We got so many people that support us, and we feel very loved today. Hello, MB. I think, MB, are you new? I don't recognize you, MB. Erica's here, and Tina Yu, and Queen Pam is here. Queen Pam is living her best life, and it's good to see you. Doe Eyes is here. Let's see. We were talking more about this whole situation. Adventurer Jojo. We appreciate anybody who watches our YouTube show. In case you're listening to the podcast, you can also watch us live. We do this Wednesdays, 11-ish Eastern. But if you subscribe, you get a notification when we go live. Is that how it works? Does anybody know?
Yeah.
I don't use a lot of YouTube. So subscribe to us, Kramer and Jess channel, and we'll shoot you a notification when it goes live. I'm going to ask you a question, and I don't want you to answer it yet. I just want you to really think through this, because I'm being dead ass serious with y'all. Okay. No answers. Do I give off dad vibes? Think about it for a second. Think about it. And let me explain how we got here. Okay. I don't think I give off dad vibes. I don't think that I come across, in my mind, And it's actually a little bit of an insecurity of mine as a man turning 40 pretty soon with no children, and trying to be in this dating world. Dad vibes to me is not a sexy status to have when it comes to a potential mate. Like I'm more, I want to be more Ryan Felipe.
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Okay,
No, you don't.
I want to be more,
Who's Ryan Felipe?
Ryan Reynolds. Which Ryan you want to go with? Ryan Seacrest?
Seacrest.
I want to be more Seacrest.
Seacrest.
At 40 than I want to be
Oh, that's the guy from
Cruel Intentions.
Okay.
Then like Joey Fatone. Okay. I want to be Ryan Seacrest. I don't want to be Joey Fatone. That's what I'm talking about over here. Okay. Now let me explain why this has even become a more insecurity of mine in the recent future. Here it is. Friday night. It's our concert. Deck the Hall Ball. I'm trying to throw an outfit together pretty quick because I didn't plan very well for it, right? And I'm thinking I'm looking pretty cute. All things considered, feel like I'm looking pretty cute, man. Got some red pants on, got a sweater from Forever 21, got a little scarf action going on. I think I'm looking pretty GQ. I walk in and I'll be gosh damned if the first thing this motherfucker right over here to my right said to me.
I knew it. Yes, I knew it was gonna be me.
I'll be damned if the first not a hello, happy holidays.
Someone would not say happy holidays.
How's your night? Thank you for all the support, sir, over the last year. He literally
Here we go.
said to me, "You look like someone's dad."
That's so funny.
That man right there said, "You look like someone's dad."
That was not my first impression of the fit, but that's so funny.
And I crumbled on the inside. I crumbled on the inside. And I don't know if it's the looming 40. I don't know if it's the 4.5 year single. But to me, giving off dad vibes is not really where I want to be right now. That's like not what I'm trying to achieve. It's not a bad thing. If I'm a dad, it's fine. What did you mean by dad vibes? Or you look literally
Hassan, I want to hear your perspective.
I want to go first before you.
You look like someone's dad.
To be fair, at that moment, I didn't want to get in trouble with HR. So I said dad instead of daddy.
Okay.
That's first of all. Don't want to go to HR.
That's two different things.
Exactly.
That's two different things.
Exactly.
Looking like a dad and looking like a daddy.
If you was there a couple seconds before I saw you, we was having a completely fireable offense conversation
about
sex.
Okay.
Oh, like you and the squad?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
So
that's why I'm nervous.
But
you chose dad. Not you look good. Like
you did.
You said you look like someone's dad.
Explain your description.
Why?
Because like honestly, you look like okay, so this is gonna sound so bad, but I don't want it to be bad.
Fine.
You look like
I do.
Jess is like, please make it bad.
Go on.
Safe. You look safe.
Safe. What does safe mean?
Safe as in I could leave my drink with you and I'm not gonna get roofied.
Okay.
That's why I didn't want you to say nothing, Jess. Like you look safe. No, like you look good. You did. You look good.
But good,
good.
like good,
Stop.
good. You're going to church and like you're dressed up in your Sunday's best, or like if you saw me, because you're bisexual. If you saw me and just take the outfit, don't take me. You see a man in that outfit. What's the first thing? And he walks in, take me out of a holiday concert, take me out of work. You see me at a bar and I walk in. What's the first thing that goes through your head? Outfit alone.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You like it.
Yeah.
You like it.
Right.
You would have sex with a man in the outfit.
Yes. I'm not.
Jess, do I give off dad vibes?
No, not at all. Not ever.
What is because y'all like the perception of myself and then sometimes what I hear from the outside is two different things.
Okay, so me personally,
yeah,
I've never felt dad vibes. I've never gotten dad vibes. When I saw your outfit,
like just outfit alone.
Yeah, no, the outfit alone. The first thing that popped into my head was like JCPenney catalog.
Wow, that's the worst.
And those are dads.
That's the worst.
Those are dads.
No, but like I feel like dads are like, but Kramer has never given off like a dad vibe, like he wants to be your dad.
Right.
Like, he gives off the vibe as like, I'm like,
I want to
I'm
be
here.
daddy.
No, like,
No. Sorry,
like I'm
no.
here on business. Like, can you direct me to like customer service?
Exactly.
Like,
Those are like business professionals,
Yeah.
aka dads.
yeah, dad vibes are like cool. Like they're cracking open a beer. They're like at the grill. They're about to give you a burger. To me, and I love dad vibes. Like I think dad vibes are hot. As far as the fit, I thought, and I don't think you should take me saying JCPenney as like a negative because you
couldn't have
honestly
chosen a
looked,
worse store.
because
Is
you
there a
honestly
worse store?
looked, it would look like a catalog. Like I felt like
Sears.
like you look like you would be on the cover of like the winter issue of like, like this color.
But you said
Like,
JCPenney, and then
I'd rather go to JCPenney than Sears or
because
Macy's.
JCPenney has like, it always has like that winter wonderland looking cover with people on the
Wow.
outside.
like, do you think like when women meet me, what do you think that they think of me? Do they get, because again, I see some of my 40-year-old friends and I'm like, fuck, that's like an old ass dude. Like, fuck. Like what do you, when a woman first meets me, what perception do you think they get? Do they get dad vibes? Like, wow, this dude's like kind of old and awkward and out of touch.
No.
Do they get he's like trying too hard? 40's weird, y'all.
Little bit.
Okay, so explain that. What do you mean by
I don't,
trying too
and I
hard?
think you should drop the dad vibes because you don't give off dad vibes like ever.
Okay.
Like ever. Like
Okay.
I've never pictured that with
He
you.
said you look like someone's dad.
No, but
I'm just saying
he
that's
meant
what this
he
man
meant
said.
he meant like
The
daddy.
outfit.
He meant like you'd pay for like you're like you're like I don't. It's I feel like there's a
Not
separation.
the SD dad.
Yeah,
No, not
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's different.
What
It's different levels
what
to it.
vibe do I give off though? You think like, when women meet me? Because I'm like a little, I'm like I am in a what you might call a dating rut right now, and it's self-induced. It's just been a weird couple of months.
It's also hard to judge because I don't know. I think you should give yourself a little slack because it's hard to judge you in that kind of environment because you're also just like really excited and and I think you feel like you have to like be on because we're at like a station event.
Yeah, of course.
Which is interesting to me, and I've always like questioned this about you because who you are on the air versus who you like force yourself to portray in person is not the same, where it's like I just feel like people like you don't need to be acting like I don't feel like you need to be trying so hard in person because like that's not how you are on the air.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like
What do
you
you
would
mean
try to
trying too hard?
overcompensate.
What do you mean by trying too hard?
When you're just like yeah, and you're like that's not you. Like it's not you.
Yeah.
That's not
that's
you.
right. I can.
I do yeah.
You see
No,
that?
you don't do yeah. But me and you, me and you worked together at that booth.
Yeah.
And the real you came out at certain moments. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
yeah,
then-
I
and then-
agree with that. But then you also had, but it was a tricky situation because y'all public figures, like especially
It's tough,
YouTube,
right?
and YouTube was
Yeah.
helping me out
Yeah.
at the booth because it was a lot of people there. Thank you everyone for coming out. But like,
Is that yeah? Is
That
the
wasn't
equivalent of
yeah.
No, I just feel like you.
yeah.
But you're not
the
even.
real you,
But you're
like,
not even that person on the air. That's not even like on the air. You're like, meh, like no, I don't like this. I don't like this.
Right.
I just want to do this. So when in person, you're like, ooh, yeah, and I'm like,
Well,
bro,
because when it's us, it's just the squad. I'm genuinely I'm how about this? Here's the word. I'm genuinely thankful.
Yeah.
And people that come up to meet you, the ones that came up to say hi to us, they're genuinely excited.
and I'm not telling you need
it's
to be
such a-
like a Scrooge to their face.
Be
I
like,
just feel like
"Fuck
I just
you."
feel like you need to find a space where you're comfortable to where you're not coming across as trying too hard because that's what it's giving.
Okay, so let's go back to dating in general. Okay, when a woman meets me, what do you think her first impression may be? What vibe do I give
Can you
off?
explain? I mean, I think that you kind of have to give us some context clues because
Like, do I
I don't
come
know.
off-
I don't know how you are in that environment.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, and
That's
it's like
true.
I'm hoping.
I'm just scared as dad
hoping,
vibes now. I'm scared I'm walking into dates. Everyone's like, whoa, this guy is 40 as hell. And like not in like a good sense. Not like 40, like 40 he's given up.
No,
You know what I
you
mean?
looked like 40 catalog winter winter issue.
just that
is what you
just that
look like.
outfit alone. Because honestly,
Which is
I never
fine.
seen you in those type of clothes before.
Which is fine. I
Okay.
have, and that's your vibe.
Like those are saying I never seen you in that
JC
look.
Penny vibes, y'all. Let's see if we can go through some of these comments really quick. Sorry. Adventure Jojo laughing at the LOL. JC Penny's not like any of the. I would take an Old Navy before I take in JC Penny, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. When you asked us that question, that was the first thing that
It's fine.
popped into my
And
head.
that's what I always want. You know what I mean? Jojo goes on to say, Adventure Jojo goes on to say, Ryan Reynolds does give dad vibes even when he didn't have kids. Okay. So maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, right?
No.
Adrian, like the outfit. Thank you. I appreciate that. Adventure Jojo says, yeah, I agree with Jess. You don't need to be club hype mode at a work party. Okay, this is different. You have to understand. This is a different experience.
No, I'm saying you even act like that sometimes, like when we're, out there.
Well, yeah, because you got to turn it on. People,
no, you don't. Just be normal.
If y'all want me to be the real me, I don't fucking want to be here.
And we know that. So why don't you just be genuine?
I wish I wasn't here in the first place.
But you're acting like we don't know that about you. So when you act like the opposite way, it feels very inauthentic.
It's one or the other. It's one or the other. What do y'all want? I either got to fake it till I make it, or I got to fucking go home. That's really how it feels.
Fake it till you make it is fine. It's just don't be extrovert.
Extra JCPenney catalog.
Basically. Okay. Just be regular.
Okay. Regular JCPenney
catalog. Regular. Yeah, like calm, like relaxing JCPenney catalog. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's calming.
Right.
All right. Listen, we cracked the code this week. At least I did. And no one's had a chance to hear this yet except for me.
Except for me. I was there. What the fuck?
You, but I'm saying like
my life.
No one's really gotten this glimpse until today. And when we call this Uncensored, like this is what we're talking about. We're getting like the inner depths of humans on this podcast. If you've ever wondered why Jess is the way she is, I've got the audio to prove this to you right after our break. You are cut. I mean, like you are your mother. I just realized that. And some people don't like to hear that. I'm my dad. I'm my dad in so many ways. More so my dad than my mom. You are your mother.
I'm fully aware that I am like fully parts of my mother just as much as I'm fully parts of my father. I'm fully aware of that, and I don't have an issue with
Y'all,
it.
This was so wild. So let me explain what happened here. And we're going to give you guys the uncensored whole thing, because we only played about a minute of this on the radio, but I think you really need to hear the whole thing of this to understand.
And I think it was so uncensored was because I just got what I needed for on air, and then the rest was just me and my mom cut like shooting the shit.
Yeah. So Jess mentioned, we had a woman call in this week for the radio show that talked about how her brother wanted to bring home this girl to their Christmas celebration. He's only known for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he met on a dating app. And we were debating, like, is it too soon, right? And Jess randomly threw out there, she goes, don't let randoms come into your house that you don't know, because they'll steal from you. And I'm like, what? And then Jess swore that there was a story.
There was a Christmas robbery at my home.
Yeah, that she was robbed by someone she knew, not just like a robbery.
No, someone like a family member brought a random to the house.
Yeah,
and we were robbed on Christmas Day.
And I was
specifically me.
I was like, I don't believe this story. I said, give me. I need, because you were how old at this time?
Shit.
10?
No. I can't remember if this was like the first year I actually left, and I was living in San Diego at the time and came home.
So you were more.
So I was
so
like
late teens.
Late teens. Okay. I forget where, if I was left, if I hadn't left or not, but it was late teens.
We honestly just needed a secondary source of this story, because I've never heard a story in my life that someone that you invited into your home has stolen from you. So here's Jess talking to her mom, and this is a little bit long, but there's Jess talking to her mom about that instance. And then, God, we learned so much from right after that. Listen.
Okay, Mom, I need your support, and I need your assistance in validating a story, because Kramer thinks I'm lying just because he's never experienced this before. And I'm trying to explain to him that we have had a robbery in our home. And not just a robbery, but a robbery that took place on Christmas Day, all because we allowed a family member to bring a random person.
Correct.
Okay. Can you share what happened that evening?
So we had a family member bring a couple of people that were friends of theirs that we had not met before. And so at one point they went into the bathroom, and the very next day is when you realize that all of the Christmas makeup and makeup brushes that I bought you for your gifts were gone. And so the only other people that were there that were not family was this girl that came with a family member.
Right.
And so since that day, we have done no randoms. It's family only, which is why we have #no randoms.
Not the hashtag. Yeah. So now it's a rule that everyone is aware of, all of our close family and friends, because literally all of the Christmas presents that you got me that day, all the makeup stuff was put in the bathroom drawer. and they were in there
Yep.
before those girls went inside the bathroom, and then when they were gone, everything was gone.
This was all high-end makeup and makeup brushes that I got through because of me being in the industry of beauty. So I was able to get all of these high-end products for you, and they were taken the very next day. That night, that night, yeah. And we always welcome everyone to our home, but then it got to the point where we couldn't just have someone bring, I'm going to bring so-and-so. I'm like, we don't know so-and-so. Nobody knows this person. We never close anything up in our home. Our home is open completely. So after that day, it was like, forget it. No more. Hashtag no randoms.
So what would you be comfortable with as far as like how long does someone need to know someone before we can allow them to come in the house?
That's a good question, Jessica.
I mean, I'm asking because we've never talked about this.
And it's been years since that happened, and we still don't know.
I know.
I am 100% comfortable with the no random rule.
I mean, I'm just asking because the topic on air was someone wanting to bring someone to Christmas dinner that they've only known for like less than 2 weeks, and like some girl he met on Tinder.
No.
I know, but which is like, absolutely not. But if someone starts dating somebody new and this isn't just a Tinder hookup and they've actually spent some time together and it's been confirmed that said person is not a psychopath, how long would you be comfortable with them dating before like they came over?
Gosh, that's a hard one. Because that involves so much more than just the hashtag no random. That's asking me to invest in somebody. That's a lot.
Elaborate on that. I don't even think we're gonna use this, but like this is just for me because this is where a lot of my trauma and like how I live my life comes from. I'll just keep this for myself.
For reference. To show your therapist. Well, this is what my mom's explanation was. Because it's like if they're just dating someone and and it's like we don't really know them. I mean, we have a really tight circle of people. So
the circle of trust.
Yeah. And then it's like, if we get invested in this person and something happens, then it's like it affects everybody.
So you only want someone to bring someone around if they are fully committed and invested.
Exactly. If it's serious. Don't bring someone that's just we'll see how it goes kind of a thing if you're really not serious, because then you're asking the rest of us to like embrace this person and you're bringing them into my home because that's still considered a random in my eyes. I don't know this person. I don't know what kind of character they are.
All right, let me stop it there.
My poor sister, the following year, my poor sister was so upset and angry about what happened at the house from the year prior that she had taped the cabinets in the bathroom shut. And she had like taped in everything. Like she was pissed because she felt like someone was going to steal from us again.
I'll be damned if that wasn't you. Like that's you.
Yeah.
That's literally you.
Yeah. And I agree with everything she's saying.
I started thinking, because Jess is funny. Jess is like, I won't meet anyone you're dating. Like when I was dating even like Miss California, Jess wouldn't meet her because Jess was like, I don't want to get attached. I don't want.
No,
and like,
that wasn't it.
It's like what you said.
That wasn't it.
Oh,
it
you
was
also said she's going to corner you in the bathroom or something?
It was not about me getting attached. It wasn't about that. I didn't want to. And I have this rule for Kramer just because I feel like, and I think, and we've talked about this before, but obviously because we share so much of our lives, when we are together, we feel like we know each other. And so there's this like level of comfortability.
Yeah.
And I know that's the same for people that you are dating.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be put in a position to where I'm asked questions when you're not around, because this isn't just a you thing. This is a girl thing. This is like a girl code thing. And I never want to be put in a position with someone that you're dating for someone to try and get information from me and hear something that they don't want to hear and that might hurt their feelings.
What do you think somebody would ask you?
Well, at that time, I didn't, it's not on me and it wasn't my business and it wasn't my place to share with someone, like how serious the relationship was.
Mm-hmm.
That's on you. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to be ever put in that position with somebody, especially to another woman, because that's like a woman to woman thing. That's why I don't like to be put in those situations when I have a lot of information about the person that's my friend. And this isn't just for you. This is about a lot of my guy friends. And I know that they're, they may be behaving a certain way or doing certain things, which is their business, and I may have that information. So to keep that loyalty and to keep that information out of the equation, I don't want to be around people that you yourself don't want to share that information to.
So Jess, if you listen to this podcast long enough, you know she always had like some of her best friends were like her worst enemies. It's so bizarre. Like Steph, who worked with us in San Diego.
Yeah, Ethan Cole.
Did you hate Ethan? I know you hated him for a while.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Okay, classic. But like, here's my story. I was thinking about this. The more I thought about this week, is I was like, you didn't really hate Garage Boy.
I did hate Garage Boy. Garage Boy
Yeah,
tried to
she
be
told
my
that
friend.
story.
Yeah, Garage Boy tried to be my friend for years, and I
that's
basically dodged him for
right.
years.
So because I don't know, have we told that story officially? I think you've told me off the air, but I don't know if we've ever like said this story on the podcast.
So my beef with Garage Boy is that he knew all of my friends before me. And right when I was supposed to meet him, we were supposed to go to the same high school. He ended up moving to Alaska. But he grew up with all of my best friends. He grew up with Jarrell and Mary and like everybody and all this kind of shit. So when he would come to Stockton and visit, everyone would be so excited to see him. And I literally was the only person in our friend group who didn't know him.
Yeah.
And I think there was like this, I hate being left out of things. And obviously I'm a teenager, so I was a little shit. So I was like, I don't want to hang out with him because I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
And so I avoided meeting him all this time. And then he even lived in San Diego at a certain point.
While you were there?
While I was there, never met. And then obviously I stayed and he moved back home. And so he tried to slide into my DMs a couple of times and been like, because you know so-and-so. I see you're in a picture with this person. I know them. I'd be like, okay.
Did
like
you
thumbs
respond?
up. No, I'd be like, thumbs up. Like, okay. One point he was like, how do you make your teeth so white? Is what he said that to me one time. And I was like,
what a fucking idiot.
I said,
would never fuck this
I
guy.
brush my teeth.
It's called
I said that.
Why?
I was like,
Why?
I brush my teeth. Like what?
So,
like it was my vibe was, what the fuck do you want from me?
Can't we
Right.
take this as an example though?
I don't know.
How many years did you waste of your life without having him in it because you were being
No.
way too shut off?
No, God's plan. Because I honestly, truly feel like
Don't encourage her.
No,
Don't
it's
encourage her.
God's plan.
No, I
because
got to.
if I would have met him at any point in my life during that time, especially when I was in San Diego, especially during like there was a time, the times that we were living in San Diego at the same time, I was spiraling out of control. I was not in a good place. I wasn't treating myself right, and I was off my fucking rocker. And if I would have met him then, there's no way that him and I would have ended up together. And I know that for a fact. I have not been ready. I wasn't ready for him to be in my life until I met him that night in 2019. And I know that. And so I like thank God for that.
When's the first time you knew him? Like you knew of him?
Knew
at least?
of him.
Yeah.
Oh, I think like sophomore year of high school.
The year would have been
15 or
so 4 years.
I was 15.
Oh, you're 15. So
That had to be 2014.
Or no, 20.
Yeah, because you're a
I
year
don't
older
know,
than me.
man.
Okay.
I think sometimes you
Maybe
got to look at
2014.
these life examples and been like, shit.
Oh,
like,
wait.
if I
No.
you probably wouldn't have stayed with. Maybe you wouldn't have stayed with your ex.
Absolutely
for
not,
as long
because
as you
because
did.
there were other people that tried to get into my life at the time when he was around, and that didn't happen. Whether he was in it or not, I was not the person
So
I was
funny to
supposed to be before I met him, and I know that. And same for him. When the version of himself that he was when we were there at the same time, we wouldn't have ended up together at any point until we actually were meant to be together. And that night, I was pissed he was coming. I overheard a friend of mine on the phone, and he was like, yeah, come through. And I'm like, why does he have to come? Like, we're having such a good time.
You're just so annoying.
And then he came, and then I loved him, and then I hooked up with him the next day. And I'm
here
going to
we
be with
are.
him for the rest of my life.
Well, there you go. There's Jess's mini lore, basically. You've learned that today.
Oh, my bad. It was 2009.
It's a long time, though.
Yeah.
All right. It's our last show before the new year. Holiday plans. How we feeling going into the holidays? What are we nervous about? What are we excited about?
Hassan.
You want to go first?
No. Cause
He's like, absolutely. I hate the
no,
holidays.
How many randoms will Hassan hook up with before we do another podcast, do we think?
2.
Okay.
Hey.
Safe bet. Safe
No, but I don't want to be around family this year
Yeah.
because I might not see you guys in the new year if I meet a certain family member right now.
Who and why?
Oh, wait, because like y'all gonna throw hands or something?
Yes,
Well, you need to, I mean, hey.
that's why I don't
something-
want to be around them.
Something that comes along with the holidays is knowing how to set boundaries And you need to be in control of that for yourself. There's nothing wrong with setting some boundaries for yourself.
The boundary has been set for 5 years, and if they cross me this year because of everything that happens, she will end up in a hospital, and I will end up in jail for hate crime.
No.
Just letting up, you know.
No.
But other than that, it's gonna be fun. So hopefully those two randoms are great.
I'm so glad we started with his son, by the way.
That was like, I know what to do. That's what I hope
wait,
that
why is there drama? No, you don't have to give us titles or anything, but like, what's perceived drama is from what?
So it's a factor of multiple things. It's to make the long story short, she is upset with me about a comment that she misinterpreted.
How many years ago?
5 years ago.
Okay. 5 fucking years ago, still mad about this shit.
She's still, and then a mutual friend of ours brought it up, like, hey, why haven't y'all communicated? I was like, that's on her. She blocked me on social media. She doesn't, but she reached out to my friend to ask me for another cousin's phone number.
Oh my God.
Instead of just asking for my friend,
No,
right?
I feel you. Your family's just like mine. I fucking feel you.
My
But then
ex-wife
something else happened.
My ex-wife could walk in here right now. It's been about 5 years since we separated. I kiss her in her mouth right now. I give no feelings at all about
Yeah,
her.
right, bitch.
Swear to God, I'd hug her right here in front of y'all.
No, I know you would. And then when she walked out, you
I bet
talked
this
so
bitch.
much shit.
Exactly.
You talk shit about her every fucking day, please.
Yeah.
All right, Jess. What are you excited about? What are you worried about? And will you be engaged before the next podcast?
I am extremely excited to go to Disneyland with my family this weekend.
You guys are going on Christmas?
No. We're going like in a few days.
Oh,
So so this is going to be like, we're obviously celebrating Christmas at the house, but we're not like exchanging gifts or anything like that because we're going to do Disney.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Garage Boy can't go, which makes me very sad that he can't go.
Wait. What?
So we're okay. So
I don't think I know this.
something I'm not excited for is traveling by myself without him because that makes me really sad, and we have separation anxiety. But he couldn't get that amount of time off work, so I'm flying to Anaheim to meet my family. We'll be in Disney, just like the four of us, which makes me really sad. But I think it is going to be special, just to be like me and mom, dad, and Butter, you know.
Yeah.
And then Garage Boy will meet us in Sacramento, like just a few days after, and then we'll be together for the rest of the holiday.
When's he coming?
On the 20th, and that's when we get back from Disney. Just a few days.
And then you fly back to Maryland?
I think on like the 29th, maybe.
Okay, so he still gets a good break, though.
Yeah.
He just can't go to Disney. That
He just
sucks
couldn't go to
for you
Disney,
guys.
yeah. But I'm very excited to go to Disney with my family. I just think it's going to be really cute, all of us together.
Will you be engaged?
I say no.
I say no, too.
You really don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think one of the things I'm worried about is, again, just, setting boundaries. Things get a little crazy at the Dutra household, so just being in control of that, which I encourage everyone to do this year. But I do not think I will be engaged by the time I get back.
What makes you think that? Because we've set the table, right? The table has been set.
Y'all have set the table.
No. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Kramer, thank you.
No.
Thank you,
He
Hassan.
set the table.
Kramer has set the table. Kramer has set the
No.
timeline. Kramer is projecting whatever the fuck he's projecting
Garage
on
Boy
me.
has talked to your father about this.
Yeah, but
the table has been set.
No, that's because he needed. When was it going to be another time? That was the first and only time, by the way, that we have been alone together. And because once you're at home, there's zero privacy and everyone's fucking around and everyone's fucking business.
Correct.
Yeah, that was the time that he was the first time ever and the only time since that he's been able to be alone with my dad. So I understand that. But no, I don't think so. Honestly, I could not be more happy, safe, and content in my relationship in this moment in time than I ever have been in my entire life.
I'm predicting a Christmas Day proposal.
I don't.
Good for you.
That's my prediction.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's so Raven. Nobody asked. For you?
What are you excited for?
I'm excited to see my family. And I know, I miss your mom. I know, I miss my mom too.
She sent me a gift. Sorry, side. She sent me a gift.
She told me she did. Isn't that nice? She's just the nicest person ever. I'm honestly, here's what I'm worried about is that my dad's not doing well.
Yeah.
And as you get into the holiday season, you'll always start to play the game of like, is this going to be the one? And he's not there. He's not there.
But he's visibly uncomfortable right now.
Well, his cancer has gotten worse and he's got to go and start chemo in the new year. So I think it's just a little harder than usual because of that, So I don't know. That's my fear, just how it's gonna affect me going into this. But other than that, man, it's just chill. It's me, it's the Yanceys, it's hopefully not too much family drama, and that's it. So for our final podcast of the year, thank you so much for being a part of it. We appreciate you so much. You support us. Some of y'all support us for way too long. 7 years now.
It's been such
10
a
years.
fun year with you guys. I think we finally have a family out here, a listener family. We've always had you guys who've been here with us since day one.
Yeah.
And whether it's been since day one, if it's recently, just thank you for giving a shit, to be honest. Thank you for giving a shit and for riding since day one. And we appreciate you so much.
All right. Jess, where do we find your engagement pictures on Christmas Day?
You can find me. Honestly, y'all should follow me because y'all know, I get fucking crazy when I go home.
It's true.
Just do it. Just do it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. She'll come back and something will be drastically different. It could be a tattoo. It could be a proposal. There's always chaos.
It'll probably be a tattoo.
When you go home and you come
I
back.
need to see your new tattoo. I haven't seen it in person.
I'll show you. It'll be a tattoo or maybe even a piercing. It depends how drunk I get.
Piercing?
Who knows? I don't know. This is Just Do It, JESSDUITT, and my podcast, Loki. Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
Son.
You can find me and my drunkenness this holiday season at Stan Willie.
I'm that guy Kramer. I'll be sober. It won't be that interesting, but come hang out with the Yanceys. It's always fun to keep up with those guys. All right, we love you guys. We'll see you in the new year. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Bye.